All right, welcome back everybody for another deep dive. Today we're going to be diving deep into The Art of Marketing, Mastering the Science of Sales by Alok Kumar. And we've got a really great framework here, I think, for understanding how marketing works, especially in today's world.
Yeah.
So what we want to do today is really try to pull out the core pieces of wisdom here, the actionable strategies that Kumar lays out so you can really understand
Right.
What drives effective marketing.
Exactly.
And we're not going to spend a lot of time on theory here. We're going to get into really practical stuff from, understanding customer needs all the way through running campaigns that deliver results. So I think a good place to start is, Kumar presents a really holistic view of marketing.
Right.
It's not just about one thing, is it?
No, it's not just one isolated activity. What's really insightful is that Kumar emphasizes how all these different elements of marketing are really interconnected. You can't just look at advertising or social media in a vacuum.
Right.
He really emphasizes that effective marketing relies on all these pieces fitting together seamlessly.
He breaks it down into some pretty crucial components. Things like really robust market research, understanding the entire landscape, then smart customer segmentation, really nailing your brand identity. And, of course, the execution of the actual campaigns.
Yeah. And, if you kind of zoom out a little bit, you can see how a weakness in one area can have this cascading effect. If your market research is superficial, well, then your customer segmentation is probably going to be flawed as well. And that's going to muddy your branding efforts and ultimately undermine your entire campaign.
Yeah.
It's a system. And like any system, the strength of the whole thing depends on the strength of each individual part.
It makes sense. The marketing world feels like it's constantly in motion.
Right.
You've got new platforms, new technologies.
It's changing every day.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's really interesting to see how Kumar kind of navigates this.
Yeah.
By offering a blend of both the modern and these really solid time-tested principles.
Well, the book definitely acknowledges the power and reach of these contemporary digital strategies. You'll find discussions around digital marketing tactics, effective approaches to social media engagement, going beyond just posting, strategic use of email outreach to nurture customer relationships. It's all in there.
And it's reassuring that he doesn't just chase the latest trends. He also gives a lot of weight to those more traditional methods.
Exactly.
Like print, even television advertising, which, some might think are outdated.
Right. And this brings up a really important consideration for anybody shaping a marketing strategy. How do you determine the right blend? Kumar doesn't give you a rigid formula.
Right.
But he makes a really compelling case for the continued relevance of these more established channels and how they can still be incredibly effective as part of a broader marketing mix. The key is for marketers to be adaptable and stay informed about emerging trends while also appreciating the value of those foundational techniques.
Yeah, adaptability. You've totally nailed it. Now, another area where the book digs deep, and one that I personally find fascinating, is the psychology behind why we buy.
Yeah.
It's about understanding consumer behavior on a really fundamental level.
What's really illuminating is that Kumar explores the deep psychological factors that drive our buying decisions. He looks at specific psychological triggers.
Right.
Those subtle cues that can sway us. He looks at the patterns we often follow when we're making choices. And most crucially, the strategies for cultivating brand loyalty that goes beyond just repeat purchases.
Yeah. So it's about moving beyond just demographics. Who are your customers on paper?
Right.
And really getting into what motivates them.
Exactly.
What are their emotional connections to products and brands?
The book gives you frameworks for tapping into those deeper motivations. By understanding what drives your target audience, you can craft messages that really resonate with them on a profound level. That's where marketing transcends just putting information out there.
Right.
It starts building connections and relationships.
Makes total sense.
Yeah.
You can have the most brilliant marketing message, but if you can't execute it effectively, if it doesn't reach the right people at the right time, it's not going to have the impact you want.
Right.
And I think this is a really important point. The book places a huge emphasis on the execution of your marketing plans and crucially measuring the results. And this is so vital in today's, data-driven world.
You've highlighted a critical point there. Kumar really stresses that even the most innovative marketing strategy is just a concept without disciplined and effective implementation. The book emphasizes meticulous planning and then diligently putting those plans into action across all the relevant channels.
And it's not just about launching a campaign and hoping for the best.
Yeah.
It's about having a rigorous approach to tracking and analyzing how your marketing is performing.
It's about moving away from relying on intuition or gut feeling, and instead basing your decisions on solid data.
Right.
He outlines methods for tracking key performance indicators. Things like conversion rates, customer acquisition cost. Then analyzing those results to understand what's working, what's not, and refining your strategies based on evidence.
Yeah, so it's like this ongoing cycle of learning, adapting,
Yeah.
and optimizing.
Exactly.
Rather than a one-time effort. Now, one thing I always appreciate in books like this is when they bridge the gap between theory and practice. And this book has real-world examples and case studies, doesn't it?
It does. And this is one of the most valuable parts of the book. These case studies link the frameworks that Kumar presents to the realities of executing these campaigns in the real world.
Right. So you're seeing those principles in action, both, when things go well and when they stumble.
And learning from those challenges. By studying these real-world scenarios, readers can understand what strategies are successful, what pitfalls to avoid, and the reasons behind those outcomes. It's about learning from the experience of others and applying those lessons to your own situation.
And it sounds like the book is structured to be useful in a practical way. Each chapter includes takeaways for the reader.
Yes, Kumar designed the book for active learning and immediate application. The inclusion of actionable steps, exercises, and key insights at the end of each chapter means you're not just passively reading. You're encouraged to think about applying the information.
So if you're refining your brand messaging or trying to develop a social media strategy or even looking for ways to boost engagement, the book offers steps you can start implementing today.
It's about equipping you with practical tools and methods that you can start using right away to improve your marketing. It's a resource you can revisit as you implement your strategies over time.
Now, who do you think is the ideal audience for this book? It sounds like it covers a lot of ground, so it could be relevant for a lot of people.
It really could. Kumar has created a resource with broad appeal. If you're a business owner just starting out or have been in the game for a while, and you want to understand how to market effectively, this book is for you. It's also great for students entering the field of marketing.
What about for people who've been working in marketing for a while? Would they still find value in this?
Definitely. Even experienced marketers will find fresh perspectives, best practices, and maybe even a challenge to their existing assumptions. It's a solid foundational text and a valuable reference for experienced practitioners. It can meet you where you are in your marketing knowledge.
So to sum it all up, it sounds like The Art of Marketing offers a roadmap for anyone serious about mastering marketing.
Yeah.
It emphasizes taking a holistic view, understanding consumer motivations, making data-driven decisions, and learning from real-world examples.
That's a great summary. It empowers you with actionable strategies to navigate the complexities of modern marketing and achieve results.
And on that note, here's a thought for you to consider. Given the book's focus on blending established and digital approaches, how might the future of marketing leverage those strengths in new and unexpected ways? Something to think about until our next deep dive. Thanks for joining us.